Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to do a little mini how to edit Instagram pictures, or how I edit my Instagram pictures. So I really only use 3 apps for this. One being Snapseed, this one, and then a scheduling called Tailwind, and then obviously Instagram, so 4 apps for it. So let's open up Snapseed. And you come to this plus screen, so you can plus anything, and then you sort of choose your picture that you want to edit. So we'll go with this one for now. This is just a makeup flat lay that I sort of mess around with a little bit. I tend to try and get the actual image looking as perfect as I can before having to go to the edit stage. So if I'm going to use one of these filters, I usually use portrait. It darkens it up a little bit, which then I sort of undo anyway with the lighting, but it has the right sort of contrast in there. I'm going to go into tools. So I only use tune image, but there's all these different types of ones. I tend to just use tune image or details. Don't really use any of the other ones, but maybe sometimes they're relevant. So for this one, we're going in with tune image. So I use 3 different ones on this one. I use the brightness, which I'm going to knock right up at this point because this image was taken later on in the day, so the light was dull, and yeah, it will all depend on when I've taken the image, all those sorts of things, the lights I've used, if I've used any light at all, but I try and get the image right rather than doing a lot of editing. So I just knock up the brightness, knock up the contrast a tiny bit. I actually think that's a little bit too much. So that's how it was when I originally had it, and now as you can see it's a lot brighter. And then knock up the ambience. So that's where I want it to be. So I think that fits with my Instagram feed, but I use the next app to double check. So you go on export, go on export and then save a copy of the image. That means that you'll still have the original if you want to basically start from scratch, but you obviously have the copy of the image that you need. So then I go back and I go to this app. This is a scheduling app, so it brings up your feed as you can see here, and I can just see where this image will fit in the feed. So sometimes they fit really well, and sometimes I'll just move them about a bit. So this one will probably have to go maybe here. So yeah, so then I count how many squares that is, so that's 4 squares, and I use my next app, which is Tailwind. Tailwind is essentially a scheduling app. As you can see there, I did this earlier. You have a draft section where you can sort of keep things and then schedule them at a later date. Or you have this calendar section which shows you the perfect times to upload for your personal Instagram. So then you simply press plus, photo gallery, and then you can put your caption and have all your hashtags ready to go, and then choose the time that you would like it to go live. So obviously this isn't going to be my caption, but just so you can see. So done, add to queue, and then I can move that to about there. So as you can see, I've already got an image where I wanted it to be, so then I'll go back to the other app and just move it around. But I tend to use Tailwind maybe on like a weekly basis, just to get things that I know that are going in. So blog posts, YouTube videos, stuff like that. I get them in here. The only thing you can't do is put videos in here, but this is really great and it gives you the right times for engagement and stuff. So that's my Instagram feed. I have been using these apps for probably about a month and a half now, and I found that my engagement has gone up, my likes have gone up slightly, and my following has gone up really slightly. But yeah, I really like the way that my feed's looking now. I think it looks more coherent, whereas if I go right down to the bottom, yeah, I think the further you go down, you sort of see that it was fine, but it was a little bit all over the place. The colour schemes were all off. Like here you can see it's quite dark here, and then really light from when I went on holiday, and then rose gold, then a quote that looks a bit odd now. But yeah, stuff like that. So I guess if you want your Instagram for a fun, sort of non-business, maybe you're just doing it just for life purposes, then that's fine. But if you want your Instagram to look coherent, then I would definitely recommend those apps. I use the apps, but I don't want to overuse and just spend half my life trying to like bounce through different Instagram apps. So that's why I really looked at what I wanted to use, and I just use those apps. So that is it from me. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know if there's any sort of Instagram things that you want to go over, and I'm more than happy to help. But yeah, that is all I use. Super simple, really easy, and it just makes everything a little bit more coherent, and I'm hoping that it's more enjoyable for you guys to look at my Instagram now. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, like, all those things, and I will see you next week.